In this lesson, I will tell you about the history of the creation of the most popular cryptocurrency at the moment, Bitcoin. I will start with the definition of cryptocurrency. As the name suggests, cryptocurrency is a type of digital currency, the creation and control of which is based on cryptographic methods. As a rule, the accounting of cryptocurrencies is decentralized, and the functioning of these systems is based on blockchain technology. The Bitcoin cryptocurrency has become a real phenomenon of the last decade. It causes constant increased interest of internet users. How did Bitcoin appear? At the end of October 2008, a message from a sender named Satoshi Nakamoto arrived by email to subscribers of the Gmain Comp Encryption General Resource. The message contained a description of the essence and properties of the created cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. Subscribers were explained that the new virtual monetary unit is reliably protected from fraudulent transactions, does not depend on any organizations, and provides the opportunity for its anonymous use to its owners. All information about the new cryptocurrency was also marked on Bitcoin.org. First transactions. 2009 is considered the year when Bitcoin appeared. In January of this year, the Bitcoin application was launched for the first time. The initial monetary block in this system was generated by the creator of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto. A few days later, the first transaction of transferring Bitcoin cryptocurrency from one user's account to another was made. A natural question arises. How much did Bitcoin cost? When did it appear? And where did these monetary units come from? It turns out that Bitcoins were generated by users on computers. The Bitcoin rate at the end of 2009 fluctuated in the range of 701,000 Bitcoins per $1. It was published on the new Liberty Standard Resource. The scheme for calculating it was outrageously primitive. They took the average power of the computer processor as a basis, multiplied it by the price of electricity in the USA, and divided it by the number of Bitcoins generated by the creator of the site. The first serious transaction made with the help of Bitcoin was the purchase of pizza by an American named Laszlo in 2010. At that time, he was passionate about acquiring Bitcoins and communicating on the forum with the same lovers of electronic money. He offered his Bitcoins to anyone who would buy or order him a pizza. For 2 pizzas, he promised 10,000 Bitcoins, which at that time was about $40. Literally the next day, Laszlo reported on a social network that a certain Jerkos ordered a pizza for him, who received the promised Bitcoins. After 2 months, the Bitcoins that Laszlo paid for the pizza were already worth $600. By the end of the year, 2400, in mid-2013, their value exceeded $1 million. And what would be the cost of 10,000 Bitcoins at the moment, considering that one Bitcoin is given over $8,000? Imagine for yourself. Probably, these will be the 2 most expensive pizzas in history. Dynamics of Bitcoin development. The first fans of Bitcoin were the so-called crypto-anarchists, who believed that the state should not interfere in the economic activities of people. For them, cryptocurrency has become a means of economic freedom, the most important invention of mankind since the advent of the internet. New money, they believe, is superior to existing money, just as email is superior to regular mail. In July 2010, the first Bitcoin exchange Nº2 began operating, where users of the system could sell or buy coins at the most favorable rate. The creation of the exchange indicated a fairly high degree of Bitcoin liquidity, and high liquidity already provided the opportunity to earn money on fluctuations in the Bitcoin rate. The founder of the exchange was Jet McCulloch, the owner of the very popular file-sharing network Nº2. In March 2011, the exchange was sold to the Japanese company Tibane Co. In November 2011, the Nº2 trading volume reached the limit of $1 million. 2013 was marked by a rapid growth in the Bitcoin rate. If at the beginning of the year, 1 Bitcoin cost $13, then by December, they gave more than $1,000 for it. In history, this was one of the most significant examples of the rise in the prices of financial assets. Enthusiasts who believed in Bitcoin suddenly became millionaires. Serious financiers and government agencies in different countries paid attention to the new cryptocurrency. Bitcoin immediately had influential allies, financiers, investors, stock speculators, heads of hedge funds, who began to turn Satoshi Nakamoto's experiment into a means of enrichment and influence. However, 2014 was not the most successful period in the history of Bitcoin. In February, there was a sharp drop in the cryptocurrency rate, associated with the collapse of the Mt. Gox exchange. In addition, there were more thefts of user data, and the press again reported on the use of the Bitcoin system by arms and drug dealers. In 2015, the price of Bitcoin fell to $240, and its capitalization was just over $3 billion. In January 2017, one Bitcoin was already worth over $1,000, and the capitalization was over $16 billion. More and more people around the world are starting to believe in cryptocurrency. Many analysts predict different prices for Bitcoin in the future. From only one thing is becoming clear. This trend is only gaining momentum. In order not to make this lesson huge, I will not describe the full potential of new technologies. We will limit ourselves to just one comparison with the advent of the Internet. Of the developed industries, the Internet has significantly changed only sales. Amazon, Alibaba, eBay, the entire e-commerce sector, and in the rest, it has made less significant changes. Let's not forget about entertainment. But this segment could not be called developed. It is grateful for its growth precisely to the Internet. The Internet has forced businesses to change their processes, but most of the created values have remained the old practice. Only the method of their implementation has changed. Blockchain is significantly capable of changing the rules in almost all areas, be it medicine, education, commerce, government, energy, finance, production. We expect a significant change in the rules of the game for sectors and a redistribution of financial flows according to the new values created. Thus, companies that can successfully capture markets will be much more efficient and cheaper to solve current problems and provide new solutions for adding value. In the near future, we can see new companies that will repeat the path of Amazon or Google, which grew out of the blockchain. What does Bitcoin have to do with it, you ask? It's simple. Bitcoin will be the instrument of value that is directly associated with a new round in the development of technology, the gold of the digital age. And at the end of this lesson, I want to give you a few quotes from people who have changed the world to some extent and continue to change it. Gold continues to be mined and mined and mined. Perhaps the amount of gold in the world is limited, but Bitcoin is a more mathematical and regulated thing. No one can change mathematics, Steve Wozniak. Bitcoin can significantly simplify the transnational movement of money and also significantly reduce the commission. But Bitcoin will not be the dominant system. Bitcoin alone is not good enough. The Bitcoin revolution must be brought closer. Bill Gates. I think Bitcoin is still a good thing. I think that first of all, it will be a means of introducing illegal transactions, but this is not necessarily bad. Bitcoin will be useful for both legal and illegal transactions. Elon Musk. I'm skeptical of most cryptocurrencies, but I think people are underestimating Bitcoin a little bit. It can be compared to a reserve money, like gold. Bitcoin is a store of value. It is not needed to make transactions. Peter Thiel. See you in the next lesson.